Every tomato lover longs to cultivate the ultimate tomato, and starting a vegetable garden is often motivated by the desire to grow tomatoes. Choosing the best varieties, getting the plants off to a good start, and preventing issues before they arise are the keys to producing delicious tomatoes. For this year's tomato glory, start with these tried and true methods of cultivation. Tip number 1: Don't crowd tomato seedlings. If you are starting tomatoes from seed, give the seedlings plenty of room to branch out. Their growth is stifled by crowded conditions, which puts them under stress and eventually leads to disease. Tip number 2: Provide lots of light. Both tomato plants as well as seedlings need strong, direct light. Tomatoes need at least 8 hours a day of sunlight to produce fruit, but aim to provide 12 to 16 hours of light for the best growing results. Tip number 3: Spacing of tomatoes. They recommend spacing tomato plants 2 feet or more apart. Air circulation is particularly important considering that disease spread quickly in humid situations. Tip number 4: Prepare the soil. Fortunately, tomato plants do well in almost all types of soil except heavy clay soil. Mix several inches of organic matter, compost, or aged animal manure into the upper 4 to 8 inches of soil before planting. Tip number 5: Bury the stems. Plant your tomato plants deeper than they come in the pot, all the way up to the top few leaves. When planted this way, tomatoes are able to develop roots all along their stems. More roots make for a stronger plant. Tip number 6: Remove the bottom leaves. After your tomato plants reach about 2 to 3 feet tall, remove the leaves from the bottom foot of the stem. These are the oldest leaves, and they are usually the first leaves to develop fungus problems. Tip number 7: Water regularly. Garden tomatoes typically require between 1 and 2 inches of water each week. Container-grown tomatoes require more water than garden tomatoes. If you are growing tomatoes in containers, remember that soil in containers heat up more quickly, evaporating more water. Water potted plants until water runs freely from the bottom, as a good rule of thumb. Tip number 8: Grow some flowers. Flowers will help tomatoes by providing a habitat that is beneficial for them. The flowers attract bees and other friendly pollinators, which also visit tomato plants. The result of this is the tomato fruit is increased. Tip number 9: Provide support. One of the best ways to help your tomato plants grow healthy and strong is to give them the best support possible. They are fast growing, and because of this, their branches begin to fill with heavy fruit. They can easily crack, snap, or break off from the excessive weight. And the most important tip of all is to have fun. Gardening provides good exercise, and will provide fresh fruits and vegetables for the gardener. For some, gardening is a way of life, their way to escape from the rest of the world, in their own little space. I hope these simple, easy tips can help you on your way to successfully growing beautiful, delicious tomatoes at home.